Christians are being massacred in Nigeria. Why is the global community silent? According to a 2023 New York Post article, quote, more than 52,000 Christians have been butchered or hacked to death for being Christians since 2009 in Nigeria. Where is the outrage? Where are the campus protests? Well, Brian Orm, CEO of Global Christian Relief, joins us now. So, Brian, what is going on in Nigeria?
It is indeed a massacre, and it needs more attention. It's devastating and unthinkable what's happening to the Christian community across the Middle Belt and the northern region of Nigeria. And I've been in the field with believers there and seen firsthand what is happening across that region, which again is hard to wrap our minds around, but it's happening every day. And again, we just had an attack over the past week on Palm Sunday as well too that was devastating.
So can you give me some examples of maybe what's happening on the ground?
Yeah, so there's a number of different Islamic extremist groups. It could be Boko Haram, Fulani militants who've been radicalized, Islamic State of West Africa Province, another kind of Al-Qaeda spinoff. And these are all kind of pushing through Christian communities in the northern region, attacking at night. They kind of go through the same protocol: attack, abduct, rape, forced marriages, take over communities, and force thousands of Christians that have been in those communities for decades to leave and be forced to go to IDP camps and find help and be basically put in a situation where they're completely vulnerable and left with nothing because of their faith in Jesus.
So, Brian, why is the media silent? This sounds like the most unimaginable atrocities being happening in real time, and no one seems to not only care but be reporting on it. I mean, it's literally radio silence. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think there's two reasons. And one is basically because the news media today rolls through with what people care about, and people are not clicking on those stories. People are not engaging with what's happening in Africa today. And they're so distant, it feels so distant. And the second part is like there's conflict. Many media outlets feel like, hey, this is not a religious conflict. It's a socioeconomic or it's a ethnic conflict. But from our contacts in the field, from seeing it firsthand, it is a targeted religious persecution that's happening across the Middle Belt in the northern region of Nigeria to wipe out Christians and replace their communities with Islamic communities.
See, that'd be the pushback. I'm sure that, some people in the comments will say, oh, this is a land dispute, or in the Democratic Republic of Congo, this is about rare earth minerals. And is it mutually exclusive? Can it be both of those things at the same time?
Yeah, and I would say this, there are a number of factors. So it is a complex situation, but at the core, the people that we talk to, and again, firsthand testimonies of believers that I've spoken with who've been abducted by Boko Haram, have been, had guns held to their heads to ask them to deny Christ and to convert to Islam. In fact, spending time with Suzanne, a wonderful woman who was shot in the temple and left through the temple, left for dead, and now miraculously survived, but has lost her eyes and still has incredible faith, but she was unwilling to deny Christ. And that's happening time and time again across the Christian communities.
Wow. That, I got chills. Wow. I think this is such an overwhelming story. And my friend here wants to do something, but feels totally powerless. So how can we help our Christian brothers and sisters in Nigeria?
Yeah, first is to just be willing to step into their stories. Read the stories from outlets like Global Christian Relief. There's many of others out there covering the stories. You have to look to find them, but enter and engage the stories. Pray for your persecuted family. I mean, a great time during this Holy Week too is to remember the suffering of Christ, but also remember and pray for the church who is still suffering for His name today, like those in Nigeria. So I encourage you. Prayer is paramount. But then also to give. I mean, these believers are left with next to nothing, need food, need income generation projects, need shelter, need medical units as well too. So there's so many needs that we can pour into. So I would just say make that part of your DNA as a believer to make this story something worth caring about. Share it with neighbors, friends, churches, but it's up to us to lift the story up because the media is not doing it.
So Brian, as the CEO of Global Christian Relief, since I have you, maybe one last question. Is what's happening in Nigeria to Christians an anomaly, or is Christian persecution around the world something that we should be aware of?
It it's sadly to say, persecution has been increasing really since 2014. A number of incidents from Modi taking power, ISIS spreading through sub-Saharan Africa.
Modi, the Prime Minister of India.
Yeah, Modi, the Prime Minister of India. So many things that we've seen over the last decade that have increased Christian persecution around the world. So we're seeing it happen in violence in sub-Saharan Africa and places like Nigeria, where we're seeing discrimination laws, even like blasphemy laws and anti-conversion laws across Asia, and it's rising and increasing. And we have to open our eyes to see it.
Brian, thank you so much.
There's a video I just watched, and I'm going to show you the video right in this my video. And after watching the video, all I could say is, if you are a Southeastern politician, you are a Southeastern leader in Nigeria, including the South leaders, both political and in any position that you are, shame on you. Shame on you for playing the second fiddle and allowing it to be used just because of what you can get against an entire region. What a pity. The politicians of this country, the North, the West, have already divided this country economically. But they just force us together because they want to make the entire country. Nnamdi Kanu call for separation for things like this, and they detain him. Isn't that a shame? The Southeast leaders, I pity for Una. And for those that may not have seen the video, I know majority of you have seen it. Let's watch it together. Here it is.
How do you build an economy when the smallest state by landmass that has the highest per capita income with the highest population has the only functioning seaport in Nigeria, while everybody else is left to go home and die? It doesn't make sense. This is the reason why I'm saying to the president that it is economic injustice, and Nigeria is structurally skewed to favor Lagos economy. I don't know what the Southeast Governors Forum are doing. I don't know what they discuss when they meet, but there are critical areas that we must address. The Southeast, yes, is the only region that does not have a high pressure gas transmission pipe to take natural gas through it. What exactly is wrong that it seems that there is like a calculated power share between the Northwest and the Southwest, and until every other region in Nigeria gets permission from the Northwest and the Southwest, nothing happens in their region. It doesn't make any sense. How can Mr. President be talking about renewed hope and economic transformation and increasing the per capita income of Nigerians and prosperity for Nigerians about building a $1 trillion economy when everything is centered around Lagos? Somebody imports a 40-foot container from Brazil to Lagos, and it will cost him 5 or 6 million naira to truck it to Aba. And you don't expect that he's going to pass on that inflation cost to the people, considering the fact that we don't have standard gauge rail lines that extend horizontally from the southwest to the southeast. It's marginalization, economic marginalization, and we have to speak truth to power. Lagos is a city of about 18 to 20 million people. We don't really know our accurate census in Nigeria because, we've not had a real census in a very long time. But let's just say Lagos is a city of about 18 to 20 million, occupying 3,527 square meters, I think, which is the smallest landmass in Nigeria. It has a GDP of over $4,500 per capita when you look at it in real times, compared to the per capita of Nigeria of about $2,520. The question now becomes, of the 6 different ports in Nigeria, Warri, Onne, Calabar. Calabar, by the way, was the first deep sea port in Nigeria because Calabar was the first federal capital of Nigeria. Apapa, Tinkan, how many of them are operational? How many of them are operational today? Look, Onne Seaport is designated as exploration and production for oil and gas, which means that if you're bringing any goods that is non-oil and gas cargoes, the rates that your charge is not, it makes the port uncompetitive. So if you bring a car through on there, you're going to pay more as compared to what you pay in Lagos, which means that Lagos will be the preferred seaport for bringing in cars and every other cargo. And cars, by the way, are one of the major imports Nigeria that constitutes a share of our major imports, especially from the US. Okay? Why would you not invest in raising the channel draft in Calabar. In 2006, yeah, a contract was awarded to a Dutch company to embark on rehabilitation of that seaport and to raise the channel draft. Yeah, the government had issues with the company over contract variation costs, and that lingered for a long time. When the government attempted to go back to do it, the company says that you cannot, and the case was in court. In 2022, that case was taken out of court for out-of-court settlement. The immediate past MD of MPA says that, oh, we've taken the case out of court and we're going to work on raising the channel draft. The Calabar seaport is dead. Like, you barely have vessels coming there, maybe one vessel per week compared to Lagos.
So have you seen that video? I think you will support me saying to the South leaders and the Southeast leaders, shame on you all. Shame! Shame! You are a disgrace to your region. Since the inception of Nigeria, since independence, I believe this nonsense has been going on. That everything in Nigeria is built for Lagos. Nobody can blame Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this. Nobody. Because this is a foundational issue. We have had successive governments. And how come nobody have been able to decentralize this seaport issue? No other part of the country has a seaport, but Lagos has four. What's the meaning of that? I know the North would have fought against it if they have the oceans, if they have the seas. So because they don't have it, they decided to marry the West, the Southwest as their wives. And then they are exploiting the South and the Southeast. And our leaders are playing the role of the moron just because of what they will get. If you are a leader in the South and in the Southeast, when I mean leaders, political leaders, traditional leaders, religious leaders, and you are not speaking against things like this, you are not working to make sure that problems like this stop, shame on you. You are a disgrace to your region. Odalo said so. The other day they were talking about tax reform bill, and I said something about that bill, that the bill is also set to favor Lagos because that's where the headquarters of all the companies in Nigeria lie. Some person thought I was drunk. Everything is beautiful. Whoever controls Lagos controls Nigeria. That is why you see Bola Ahmed Tinubu upon being sworn in as president. He moved the headquarters of FAN from Abuja to Lagos. He moved the branch of the CBN from Abuja to Lagos. And people don't know why he was taking these things there. And we don't complain. The South leaders and the Southeast leaders politically are just playing the second fiddle. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Shame on you people. You are all a disgrace. And based on this video, we all agree that Nigeria is certainly not one. They divided Nigeria the way they want, but they forcing the million is dominating 66 million. And for what we get that these 13 million people were not indigenous people of the North. So what they are looking at, is another way to, corner or pretend to be in relationship with the Easterners and lure them into the military and kill them. That's the plan. That's the plan. We saw it. If it's not their plan, how can you be killing somebody with ordinary flag? How can you invade somebody in the Kano's house and wipe 28 people and you are saying those people should come out? Those people you will kill. Wake them up, let them come and join the Nigerian military. But as well as some military personnel of people extraction. Bro, this is an atmosphere of reality. Igbos understand their own style of warfare. The Biafra knows what they mean, what their style of warfare when it comes to invading the enemy. They know what to do. This is not a moment of shoot me and shoot you. More has gone beyond shoot me and shoot you. We are talking about technology. We are talking about innovation. Let them go, and those who kept Nigeria under siege, under bondage, Yorubas and Hausas, they should look for military and let them go and join the military and rescue Nigeria. No, what I'm saying is, let me bring question. What I'm saying is that this particular recruitment exercise, 200 is allotted to 200 positions is allotted to Enugu, for instance. In Kano also, they already have about 3,000 people who have applied. In Enugu, they have not gotten up to 100 applications. They cannot, if they like, let them be 1 million. They can never conquer Biafra land when it comes to real armed struggle. No,
what I'm saying is, we are saying
yes, we are not interested. I've told you the reason why we are not interested. We are not interested. They have already made us not to be non-Nigerians. They have labeled us non-Nigerians. They have made us to be to understand clearly our position in this geographical territory. And we understand it. We took it with both hands. We struggled. But no, Nigeria doesn't need pity, because Nigeria never pitied an Igbo man. I can tell you. So whatever sacrifice the Igbos have done in the past for Nigeria, please let it be on the record. Maybe only Igbo get to Nigeria. Other people. So they are slots. Who they leave it for? And they should give it to Yorubas and Hausas, because that's the ones that they are taking their slots already. They should. But is it not a blessing to them? They should multiply it so that all of them will join together and move ahead. As simple as that. The spirit of Igbos has left Nigeria for decades now. They must understand that. Nigeria, you know why when we say we're not joining any protest, we're not part of any this thing, we're not anything they do. Let them themselves, even if people become president today, but we are not interested in this entity called Nigeria. Even if people this presidency, I'm telling you, unless the world refuses to recognize Biafra, I'm telling you the honest truth. And that's the truth. Everything is being targeted on Igbo man. If there is sabotage Igbo, if there is misappropriation Igbo, if there is hate Igbo, everything is factored out. And I can't be part of the continued conspiracy of pretending not to know the truth because you feel that why are you bringing Igbo factor into the Nigerian military? Again, Nigeria.
Are you not seeing a better Nigeria in P2B's presidency?
What?
Are you not seeing a better Nigeria in P2B's presidency?
But even if it's not for 8 years, we'll come back to square one. So what is it? After P2B presidency, what happened? I'm asking you now. After P2B presidency, then what happened? Then we are back to square one.
You will abuse your legacy.
No, we are back to square one.
You will abuse your legacy.
They will come with their agenda and smash it. We'll go back to square one.
Now, Mr. Chinedu Michael, let me take you to the angle of your brother talking about Joe Buku. He has said it clearly, though this is a close ally of Tinubu when it comes to political. He said the marginalization of Igbos comes with consequence. Surprisingly, this is coming from Joe Buku, a close ally of Tinubu, telling Tinubu.
All these people don't leave them alone. I don't care about Joe Buku. Unfortunately, I don't know whether he has been denied of any appointment. Why? So
would that be the reason?
360 degrees U-turn. Unfortunately, that's Joe Buku for you. You can try to throw another line tomorrow. You might not know. But if he has aligned himself with the reality, that he even said it under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment, the Igbos are still experiencing extreme marginalization.
But what does that speak for to the presidency of Tinubu?
I don't know whether there's any presidency called the presidency of Tinubu. I don't think there's any president in Nigeria. I don't think there's any president in Nigeria. I want to take a Aisha Yusuf saying that Nigeria has no president. And you can see it. Look at the issue of drugs. Look at a lot of things are involved.
That's why I ask you, what does it mean for the image of Nigerian government?
The Hausas and the Yorubas have never for one day. We know that they're not. Okay, do you know how many years he served under? For him to come out and say my Igbo marginalization has a consequences, he should be able to know. They are together working. They are together. They are the ones that should provide the military themselves. Go and beg Northern and Hausas and Yoruba youth to join the Nigerian military. They should leave Igbo completely out of.
So Joe Buku should bring his children to feed Igbo slots.
He's Joe Buku not an Igbo man. I don't understand the question.
No, the way you are pushing Joe Buku out of. I said this is
an Igbo man. If he's my brother, I should allow him to take it. But even though Joe Buku is a lost sheep, but the fact is still remains. He's an Igbo man. He knows. Why would he be saying that Joe Buku should go and feed that slot?
No, I'm asking a question. I'm only asking a question. Because you didn't want to speak about Joe Buku. I've told you, unfortunately for Joe Buku, that maybe they didn't give him any appointment. And that's why he's looking at that, saying that out of the Tinubu's appointment, the Igbos are still being extremely marginalized. These are some
something we have known how many years ago, and it's ongoing. Even when it becomes an Igbo man's turn, you know about there, you can see what Tinubu said. They came out because they not turn out the Fulanis align with the agenda. They should go and do their thing the way they like. They came out and said they had structure. They are the one that own it, even when they know the reality. So what does that tell you? It's a clear message that what is happening in Nigeria is being powered and supported by Bola Ahmed Tinubu in alignment with in alliance with the Fulanis.
Are you saying you're like a prodigal son? And if it's a prodigal son, who came back to the father?
Bro, if I don't understand, I've met his boy Joey Boko one-on-one.
I understand he's your brother.
Yes, I've met him. I don't know how you don't need to say you. I don't know you understand he's my brother. By his name, you should know. I don't want to know where he comes from. He's another brother man. You understand? But I've had interactions with him some time ago, many years ago, and I can tell you, you know, his position and what he does. These are people Bola Ahmed Tinubu pick from scratch and made them what they are, and they don't feel like, you know, moving out from that quarters, from that space where they felt that it was the quarters that made them. That's the orientation. As simple as that. Likewise, every other person. You saw Red Mockery championing drug protest in London against Tinubu. Where is him now? Bola Daniel, a spokesperson to Atiku. What happened? So you can see. So maybe those are special infrastructure. No, that is something I'm telling you now. You see not the same thing I'm talking about Joey Boko too. You understand? But if you have said that anyway, it tells you that, you know, the gang up is still ongoing. But let me tell you, any day they realize that the Igbos were not conquered in Nigeria, maybe they will start to have a rethink. That's the fact.
I think I'm also ready to thank you.
If you like, don't say thank you.
Now that does not take away the fact that we are trying to look at how to come about referendum if Adenana Kalo is left out of the room.
My brother, let me tell you, see, I can tell you that if somebody was just saying it, but it's not the Northerners, Hausas. Hausa does not, is the Fulani, or whatever they call themselves. I've given you the statistics now. In the south, but the issue of Tuesday political zone is because of crude oil, you know. The issue that came about with endorsement of system is because of crude oil. But we don't need the Northerners to tell us. We don't need the federal government of Nigeria to tell us. What we are seeking is solidarity with the international community and world leaders to recognize Biafra as a nation. As simple as that. That's what we need. France is out of it completely. So once we get that recognition, that's what we're seeking, and that's why you are seeing so much diplomatic relationship, you know, going on at the international space. Therefore, popularity growing on television, spreading. We have already conducted a referendum, and the only thing we can do is that to extend referendum to Ambassador and some part of Middle Belt, and that the deal is done. That's as simple as that. And no inch of Biafra land will be ceded to anybody at the end of the day. That's the fact, and that's the reality.